Hello, we're giving a few more minutes before we start. Thank you to everyone that's on the Zoom, so we can talk about the HLC response open forum. We will start in 3 minutes. All right. Hello, everyone. I am Blanca Jara, Executive Director of Institutional Advancement here at Morton College. I would like to thank you for joining us today for our Higher Learning Commission Respond Open Forum. I just want to share a few of our housekeeping rules. Again, I would like to welcome everyone to our open forum today. Please make sure that you are on mute. Respect others when speaking by putting yourself on mute. This eliminates a lot of the background noise as we're going to be uploading this video to our website. Please add any questions to the chat box. We'll be checking for questions and comments. We do ask that if you do have a question that you don't want to put on the chat box, please wait until the presentation is done so that we could address your question. And if you do have a question, raise your hand and it's a little icon within the Zoom area. And again, this session is going to be recorded so that we are able to share this information with our college community via our accreditation webpage on our Morton College website. Our presenters today are, Derek Shoba. He is our Dean, Associate Provost, I'm sorry, and he's going to be presenting. One second, guys. I'm having a little bit of a, oh, there we go. He's going to be presenting the information on the HLC accreditation for Morton College. Again, I'm the moderator, and then you will have Dr. Keith McLaughlin here today, the provost, to help in assisting us in answering any questions. So without further ado, Dr. Shoba, can you please take it on?
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate everyone who's attending today, showing your interest in accreditation in the college. Obviously, it's an important subject, so we really appreciate the interest and support. Just a quick overview, a reminder for folks, and we do have some experts in the crowd here with Dr. Keith McLaughlin, the provost, who has a long experience working with accreditation issues. The president, of course, also has good experience working with accreditation and with the HLC in particular. But the Higher Learning Commission is one of 6 regional institutional accreditors in the United States. There are program level accreditors, but we're talking about the college or institutional level accreditation. The HLC accredits non-degree post-secondary institutions in the North Central region, which includes 19 states. It's recognized by the U.S. Department of Education, the Council of Higher Education Accreditation. The HLC accredits about 1/3 of the U.S. regionally accredited public and private institutions. It is by far the largest accreditor. And we'll go to the next slide. Okay. Why is Morton College unaccredited on notice status? The designation of notice indicates that the college is in compliance with the HLC accreditation standards, but with concerns specifically noted in core components 2A, 2C, and 5B of the criteria for accreditation. The college, we've made in recent years, including notable improvements in board governance. By extending notice, the HLC board determined that the college would benefit from additional monitoring and a focus visit to confirm that progress is sustainable and the institution has ameliorated the findings that led to the extension of notice. So again, we expect an actual visit by no later than, I think, September, and then we'll have a comprehensive visit in approximately 2 years. Next slide. Will Morton College lose its accreditation? Institutions that have been placed on accredited on notice status remain fully accredited. I don't believe we've seen a single community college in Illinois lose its accreditation status, and we have no reason to believe that Morton College will ever lose its accreditation status. So the answer is that we remain fully accredited. Next slide. Will I lose my financial aid? Again, a very clear answer, no. Institutions on sanction remain eligible for Title IV financial aid. Students can expect the financial aid office and processes and availability of monies to remain exactly as they were before. Next slide. Will my credits transfer? The official explanation of HLC is that in most cases, other colleges and universities will continue to accept the institution's credits in transfer or for admissions to higher degree programs. All colleges and universities define their own transfer admission policies. Students interested in pursuing a higher degree or transfer should contact the college or university they plan to attend to, which is always a good idea, but so that they are knowledgeable about their admission and transfer policies. I can say that I have not heard of students having trouble getting their credits transferred. It's always a good idea to check, but I've never heard that it's in any way problematic. Next slide. Will Morton College's status of accredited on notice appear on my transcripts? That's, again, a very simple no, they won't. Morton College's status with HLC doesn't get reflected in any way on the college, on your college transcripts. Next slide. And then the big question is, what is Morton College doing about these sanctions? Again, in the process of accreditation, and as one of the authors of the accrediting reports that we've turned in, I can say that accreditation is a very normal process. It's a process designed to make improvements to all colleges. Morton College benefits from feedback from peer accreditors, peer reviewers. And in most areas, we've heard very positive feedback from the Higher Learning Commission and its representatives about our academic programs, the improvements we've made in student services, in the athletics program, et cetera. So a lot of good news, but the focused, targeted suggestions have to do with the Board of Trustees. And so you see that the Board of Trustees has done a number of things working with the President, Dr. Fields' reform agenda to make the Board of Trustees stronger than ever. And so we see that they've adopted a number of different policies that make much clearer relationships with communication, much clearer relationships with vendors. They've ratified the president's a 4-year contract, so they've expressed faith and confidence and continuity in the president's reform agenda as well. The board, the unions have signed multi-year contracts, the full-time faculty union in particular, expressing faith and collaboration with the administration. So a number of very positive things. We can flip to the next slide and just say that the Board of Trustees, we have a new member of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Montiel, who comes with a wealth of community experience. We're excited by his addition to the Board of Trustees, and we've also adopted a thorough review of the Board of Trustees policies, which has been wonderful. The Board of Trustees, under the President's guidance, terminated a number of problematic contracts with the financial, marketing, and fundraiser areas. So lots of good things happening with the Board of Trustees, including a commitment to have thorough training and ongoing professional development. So we'll go to the next slide, but we can say that's the fundamental area in which the HLC was targeting, and the President and the Board of Trustees are strongly committed to a reform agenda. So the overall question we just come back to is, why is accreditation important? First, it allows schools to award the federal financial aid that we told you already was not, we can't expect it to be any interruptions in the current on notice status. And then two, it's a quality improvement process. And as I said, you can see already that the Board of Trustees, under the President's leadership, is making tremendous strides and committing to improvement. That's, the accreditation process is doing what it's supposed to do, and Morton College embraces those changes and the feedback. So I think we're very proud to see that the college continues to move in the right direction. Next slide. Who can I contact, or where can I go for more information? All questions are welcomed. I think you can ask questions now or in the chat box, but in the future, if you think of a question, we have Blanca here, Blanca Hara here, Blanca Hara at morton.edu. We have a web page, and in general, Morton College has been committed to absolute transparency in the accreditation process. We put out more information than I can imagine any other school giving out about the process at every step of the way. The President is very committed, and Blanca Hara, as the Executive Director of Institutional Effectiveness Advancement, has committed to putting out as much information as we can possibly give you. So feel free to contact her if you think of any questions after this. I think we're at the last slide there, right?
Yes, that is. Thank you so much, Derek. Thank you so much for providing that information, information that we continuously share with our community via very different avenues of communications, our social media pages, our Panther newsletter, all of our Panther portals, you know, internal and external for our students, and sending it via email as well as a press release. So we are really proud of the fact that we are remaining committed to providing this information to our college community and ensuring that we do so with so many different types of information that we have, you know, that we would want to share with our college community. So at this point, we are opening it up for questions. If anyone has a question, please let us know. We're here to answer your questions as much as we can and provide any additional details that you would like. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Oh, we have, Andy, is that you?
Hi, yes,
Hi,
it's me.
Andy.
Hello.
Hi, Andy. How are you today?
Great, great. Just been
Good.
going from meeting to meeting.
Great, great. So what's your question?
I know there have been a lot of rumors Morton College was threatened with unaccreditation at one point. Was that ever true?
I don't think we were ever, we're not in jeopardy of losing our accreditation. There are various stages of sanctions. So we're on notice. That's not anywhere near losing our accreditation. So as I said, we're pretty firmly in the camp of, you know, financial aid continues, transfers probably not problematic, though we always recommend people check with their transfer institutions. We've got a strong, you know, like we said, a board agenda of reform that I think, you know, is impressive. And then of course, this is all on the backs of what I think is a very strong case of improvement at this college. And hopefully if you've been here, or if you've been here for 3 or 4 years, you get a real sense of the arc of improvements that have been happening here. And I won't go on. Actually, I'd be happy to go on. One of the things that's fun about writing these reports is that there's so much good things to talk about: the expansion of the full-time faculty, the improvement of academic advising and student services, the improvement of athletic facilities. So I won't go on, but I don't, so the answer is pretty clearly no, we haven't really been in jeopardy of losing accreditation. We don't, we want to make sure that we're off notice in the future, and we want to make sure that we're taking feedback that we've received, and I think we are. So I think we're in a pretty good position.
And I would just add to Dr. Shoba's comments that, at various stages of the accreditation process, the HLC looks at different options. One option is probation. That's an indication that an institution would be out of compliance of one or more of the criteria for accreditation. The HLC board, in fact, determined that Morton College is not out of compliance with any of the criteria for accreditation, just a few areas where they had some concerns. And so that's why we have the on notice status, which is a much less severe indication than a probation status. And I know there's a question in the chat from one of the participants about financial aid. As Dr. Shoba has stated, there is no impact whatsoever on students' ability to receive financial aid through Morton College as a result of this on notice.
One thing I didn't mention also that the HLC was impressed on is our efforts with our college council, which is sort of a cross institutional shared governance mechanism that Dr. Fields brought about or created at the organization, which has participants from all the major institutional stakeholders, from the full-time faculty to the adjuncts to the student services to different employee groups. So that is something I didn't mention, but was an area that the HLC was impressed with and saw some progress in.
And we do also have students, right? A student or students in the college council?
I think there's a student rep on there.
Yes. All right, does anyone have any more questions?
I have another question.
Okay, Andy. Andy, by the way, is our student trustee, so he's here to collect information to share with the fellow students. So go ahead, Andy.
How long do you think it'll take for Morton College to no longer be accredited on notice?
Great question. We have our visit coming up, and you hope. I think we have a strong, which would be September, but it usually takes a little while after that, right, Dr. McLaughlin, before you hear back. So
Right.
best case, it might be a few months after September where we might get a recommendation to be off. But it can take a little more time. So we have a comprehensive visit after that, which can be a year or two after. So they can keep, it's not necessarily that we'll be off notice on that at that time. Do you want to add anything, Dr. McLaughlin?
No, we fully expect, because I think at this point, HLC has noted the progress that we made. I think they want to just continue to evaluate that progress over the next several months. And when the focus visit takes place by next September, we're very optimistic that the on notice designation will be removed following that visit.
Good question, and we appreciate you being here.
I have Luis Navarez asking a question. He is a community partner of us and also works for the Chicago Public Schools. So thank you for being in our open forum, Luis. His question is more of a reflective one. What will MC as an institution do to prevent itself from landing in this space in the future?
Well, that is a great question. I can only say that we have been very, I've been here 10 years, Dr. McLaughlin's been here 10 years, and I have to say that I think the state of the college is stronger than ever. And a lot of it has to do with Dr. Fields' leadership. And I think we've really moved in the right direction. So to say what will we do, I think we're addressing all fronts. I think the Board of Trustees has committed to making the kinds of reforms that HLC was suggesting. I think the president's been working with them. So that's a strong component. And I think kind of supplementary to that, we have just seen a tremendous growth in new academic programs in terms of the quality of the faculty, the instruction that we're delivering, faculty development, facilities, communications. I mean, just to just to look at the folks here, if you looked at the change between how we communicated 5 years ago and how we communicate now, the amount we're out in the community, the amount of information that we're getting. So I think that kind of transparency and the amount of communications that we're doing is kind of, and the marketing we're doing is just emblematic of the commitment to transparency, reform, improving of the Board of Trustees, which was the specific area that HLC had. And obviously we've had a security of tenure, like we said, that the president's contract was renewed for 4 years, and that made a big difference. We did have a little administrative turnover in the past, but we've had a real consistent leadership message. So I don't know if anybody else, if Dr. McLaughlin would like to add, but I feel like, you know, we're in as strong a position as I've ever seen this institution at, despite the fact that we're getting feedback of further things to improve, which is a great thing to have areas of improvement.
Yes, and I absolutely agree with that assessment. I think we are in the strongest and best position that we have been as an institution in the years that I've been here in my tenure. But recognizing this is an ongoing process with accreditation, regardless of whether an institution has some challenges or issues from the perspective of the Higher Learning Commission. The Higher Learning Commission views all of the institutions that they're associated with as being engaged in continuous quality improvement. So this is an ongoing process. It will always be an ongoing process, but we certainly are committed to getting to a place where we don't have this on notice status associated with our accreditation, because we have made taken the corrective steps that need to be taken. And I think also a part of it is the board has really formalized some of these actions into policy so that it's more sustainable over time. So regardless of who's serving on the board, with policies in effect to help guide and shape some of this, I think it will be much longer term in terms of the corrective actions that are being taken.
And all the changes that we've done benefit the college community. You know, we magnified our resources so much for our college community via student emergency funding, via a Panther Scholarship, our Panther Pantry, opening up our facilities for all of our college or you know, different community organizations to use at no cost, fundraising, you know, just various ways that we are able to support our community, knowing that right now we are in a difficult time because of the pandemic, but even outside of the pandemic, we had a lot of the resources in place to support our students and to continue to support our students now. So it's been, for me as a newbie here, you know, I've been here for almost 4 years now, and also an alumnus of the institution, to see the changes that has happened here has been so gratifying and so great, you know, because we've invested so much into our facilities, for example, so that our students know that the normal is not to go to an institution that is falling apart or to a bathroom that looks like crap, right? The normal is that you belong here, you belong in a facility that is investing in you and in your well-being and your educational journey. So we never want to give our students the ability to think that being mediocre is okay. You know, we want to make sure that they know that they could always ask for more and expect that, because we work for them. You know, we work for our community, and we want to ensure that when they leave here, they know that we did everything we could to support their journey. So, yeah.
Good question.
Thanks. Any more questions?
Where can a student find more information if they wanted to look up like the history of this thing?
Yeah, you know, Andy, you can find that we have a webpage. We created a webpage for accreditation, and it has pretty much our journey of our accreditation. Our accreditation journey that has our responses, the response of the HLC, what we've done, what the changes we've done, and it's all documented. And there's also links to the HLC website that directly has that information. So we have to share exactly what the HLC gives us to share with our community. So if you don't want to find it on our Morton College webpage, you can always go to the HLC website and find that information. And you'll see the history of the institution with the HLC. And you've also can see the link on our chat box.
Okay, thank you.
No
And what
problem.
else has Morton College done to, discredit rumors that have been spreading around?
Well, it's not rumors, right? Because we've never let me rephrase that. It is rumors when people don't share the information that is not the facts, right? And it's been our focus to always share the information, even if it's not information that is a positive information for the institution. But we have committed to ensure that we share this information and we stay. We have this process so that everybody can see, right? And it's transparent. We want to ensure that we remain transparent through the entire process. So when we hear or when we see people that are sharing information that are not facts, we always invite them to the college and sit with us so that we could walk through the process with them. And one of the reasons why we created the webpage, for accreditation is to ensure that we are providing the information, and that, again, if you don't want to go through our webpage, you could always go through the HLC. We have a duty to give you the facts, and that's what we're doing, and we're remaining transparent through the entire process.
And I think we've tried to do regular updates at the Board of Trustees meetings, which are obviously open, open forums. We also present to the faculty assembly regularly. So we try to, and these are obviously geared to make sure that students have an opportunity to hear. And we're gonna, it's recorded, so we're gonna continue to try to find ways to reach out. Again, the area of concern is pretty narrow, so it's a fairly specific, narrow area. But I always look at, accreditation across a broader spectrum, because the comprehensive visits in the past and in the future are focused on, overall areas, and there's so many. And it's a pleasure to say that there's so many different areas which the HLC was confirming not only meet the criteria, but we're seeing exciting things happen. Blanca mentioned a few, but we obviously put in our accreditation reports all the great things happening in the academic affairs area, the student affairs area, and all these other things, and fundraising, etc.
And just so you know, when the HLC does come, when they come, even if it's a follow-up to, the most recent focus visit, or just a standard visit that they do like every 10 years, I believe, or depending on how they want to come, they interview different people from the college community. So they interview different groups, administrators, faculty members, students, the student trustee. And so they want to see the entire range of the change that we are telling them that we've done, or the updates that we've done. So they're not basing their decisions just based on the report that we give them. They come here and they do a thorough interview process, and they want to learn more of what we're doing and presentations and so on and so forth. So they're not basing their decision just on the report that we submit to them. It's much more intense than that. And it's an all hands on deck kind of couple of days, right? And oftentimes, it could be up to a week. So when they come back, I don't know if you're going to be a trustee anymore, Andy, but the trustee is usually involved in their visits, and they're able to speak to the student trustee and learn about how the institution is supporting the students and providing resources for them.
Yeah, I think this last visit, they had all the student leaders. I believe they visited with the Student Leadership Council.
Yeah.
Good question. Another good question.
So we do have we have one-offs, and the best way I could explain that is that for example, we've shared this information with our college community in every way possible that we can. We cannot control what is shared outside of the community. The only thing that we could do is continue to reshare our communication. It doesn't change because it's the same information that we share over and over again. But we can't control the information that other parties or other individuals would like to share, how they want to interpret however they want to interpret our news. The best thing that we could do is just tell them, hey, here's the information. This is information that we provided on so-and-so date. This is all the different avenues and you can get the information. And if that's not enough for you, we are more than welcome to assist you in meeting with you and walk through the process of what we've done and all the changes that we've done here at the college.
I think one of the points that gets missed oftentimes in this discussion when we're talking about an on-notice situation for an institution is that HLC is a partner with the institutions that are members of the Higher Learning Commission in terms of ensuring quality and helping institutions improve. It's an ongoing process. It's not HLC just waiting for an institution to do something that they think is wrong or whatever the case might be. They're really working with their member institutions to help them continuously improve, to support student success, and really offer quality education. And so our relationship with the Higher Learning Commission is not just based on them coming in and determining what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, but it's really to come in and affirm, this is a quality institution. And as we look at the whole picture of Morton College, I think HLC would support that we are doing many, many things very well. And they're very pleased with the work that we're doing in terms of our academics, in terms of our facilities, and just in terms of the range of issues that Dr. Schober referred to in terms of what they evaluate. So sometimes when it gets down to a very narrow focus like this, we miss out on all the other good aspects that we can point to about the institution.
Good questions, all. Any further questions? Okay. Guess.
All right.
But if you think of one, please contact Blanca Hara, and we'll get you answers.
Yes.
Thank you
so
to the
much.
audience.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today and for being part of the conversation to learning what is it that Morton College is doing in regards to the HLC. I do want to share a few information before we sign off. On December 12th, we will be hosting a food drive here on campus. Our food drive that we had a couple of weeks ago was extremely successful, and we've learned how much need our community needs when it comes to food insecurity. In collaboration with the Hispanic Business Network, we will also be hosting their toy drive on that day, and it's going to take place here at the college. So we'll make sure that you are really clear if you have family members or you want to pick up some food or drop off a toy and where you have to go the day of the event. Also, don't forget, if you have not registered for spring enrollment, please do so. Visit our website and please register for spring as the classes are filling up soon. And once again, thank you so much for supporting everything that Morton College does and for joining us today for our HLC Open Forum. Thank you and have a fabulous holiday season. Take care.